72. And that's what they gave Obama a bad deal, dude. What was it? 8972 827. There's a house Encino. It's my foot. There's a stamp right there. Shit, that's all legit. Get signed by anybody? I have another one of these though that got more officially signed.
This one's very interesting. I did a little bit before on it, doing a little bit more on it. Most people don't know that on August 7th, 1972, the greatest solar flare in the history of the planet occurred. This is an abstract, some unusual features of the cosmic ray storm in August of 1972. Now you got to realize, I'm the only one that knows this. On August 6, 1972, all life on planet was put to sleep, and they were not woken up until August 13th, 1972. All this is documented, but if you notice, every time it's talked about this large solar flare, the date, the time, it keeps changing. You're looking at August 4th to August 7th. They're giving all different types. What time it happened, what day it happened, 6:30 UT, 8 hours after. All right. Here's another abstract. They're given it 1500. This is the common one, and then it just keeps changing all the time. They're saying a giant shock wave from this hit the Earth. Ooh, let's hit the PDF real fast. And then the major events during the 2nd to the 8th of August. Well, I know for a fact that it happened on August 7th because I remember August 6th being told that the whole planet was being put to sleep. On August 7th, after the event happened, Eastern Standard Time around 3 o'clock in the morning, I went to sleep. I woke up the following day. I observed all the light, the casting of the shadows. The telephone pole that was in front of my house had different lengths of shadows. From what I understand, you got to realize, everyone thinks of the Earth as having a North Pole and a South Pole. It does not. It's a giant crystal. It has a South Pole with 3 other poles, and then a North Pole with 3 other poles, and it shoots down like this. It creates an 8-sided magnet. That is what the Earth is. It's an 8-sided magnet. Ooh, you know what I could use? Alright, let's shoot down, and I'll get into that a little bit more later. They call these a Type 2 and a Type 4 burst. In this solarstorms.org, they call the August 2nd, 1972, the Space Age Storm. What is it? They classified as an X2, the solar flare X-ray power. And here they're giving it a flare at 11:24 UT. So if you notice, time's very convoluted right here. They're giving out all different types of dates, times. Nobody knew anything. The whole planet was put to sleep. I know, because I woke up and it was a ghost town. So there's that 15 universal time again. Type 2 and Type 4 burst. Pulse in the band of 100 to 200 megahertz, traveling at a velocity of 1,500 kilometers a second, in which the shock generated by the solar flare was tracked through the interplanetary plasma right to the Earth. This is an abstract from another site, which is saying that the X-ray flux increments at 1530, 1600, 1700, and 2100 are calculated for the north of the 40-degree north latitude and 75 west longitude. Different times, all saying the same thing. Something big, bigger than it's ever happened. Remember,
there's been a lot of controversy about the daylight fireball of August 10th, 1972.
Rare footage of a meteorite in flight was taken quite by chance in Alberta in 1972. We'll show it to you twice since it's quite short. The meteorite only broke up a little and seemed to have skipped through the atmosphere and returned to space, which was probably just as well, since it was calculated to be about 150 feet across and would have caused quite some damage if it
visible to the naked eye, or they wouldn't have photographed it. But the fireball itself is hard to determine what the size would be from photographs, because the flames and the glow kind of conceals the actual size. So what we'll do is concentrate on the trail. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put up some statistics here, a little graph.
The Great Daylight Fireball, or US 19,720,810, was an Earth-grazing fireball that passed within 57 kilometers, 35 miles, 187,000 feet of Earth's surface at 2029 Coordinated Universal Time on August 10, 1972.
On this day in space. In 1972, an Earth-grazing fireball burst through the sky over North America. It didn't hit the ground, but instead it passed straight through the sky. The fireball entered the atmosphere somewhere over Utah and passed northwards, leaving the atmosphere over Alberta, Canada about 100 seconds later. Analysis of its trajectory showed the object was about 10 to 45 feet in diameter, depending on whether it was an icy comet or a denser rocky asteroid. No one's really sure which one it was.
Bible, we learn that after the flood, God gave Noah a promise that there would never again shall be a flood to destroy the earth. So Noah and his children would never have to experience a flood again. In many circles, they believe that if the planet is going to be destroyed, it would be done by fire. In the Bible, Book of Revelation, it talks about Armageddon, and many people believe that it would be a nuclear war. As we go into Wiki and we put in the day, August 7th, 1972, which was a Monday, they have here on that day at 1519 GMT or 1119 EDT, the most powerful solar flare ever measured was observed on Earth. Then as we put that into Google and we start checking all the websites, we'll start to see that the times just keep changing. Here is another one. It says shock waves generated by the intense solar flare of August 7th 1972, at 1500 UT. UT is Universal Time. As you can see, Eastern Standard Time is... Alright, this is Dolores Cannon. I told her this information when I first met her, back in, I think 89 was when we first met. I have to do a video on her. When I told her, she was like, she didn't believe me. I was like, nah, this really happened. Eventually this is going to start coming out in your books. The first book that it came out in was Convoluted Universe 2. The very last chapter of the book talks about it. So by me telling her and giving her forewarning, eventually when this information did come to her, using her hypnosis technique, she could make sense of it, understand, and know what kind of questions to answer and ask, and, you know, she knew about it. The next book that came out with it in it was Convoluted Universe Book 3. You can buy them, you can go to the library, request them, but the last chapter in both of those books contains information telling the people this is exactly what happened. What I try to explain to people that do ask me these questions is, prior to August 7th, 1972, 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the entire planet was existing in a third dimension, fifth plane of existence, and the entire planet was lifted up. And we were lifted from a fifth plane of existence to a sixth plane of existence. Some people in religious circles call it the rapture. I know there's many names for it. But the entire existence of the fifth plane of existence was wiped out. And we were protected by some of our brothers who knew that if we were not protected, all life on the planet would have been wiped out. And there's some new information that no one else knew about. Only I knew. I shared it with Dolores, and Dolores Cannon died in 2016. So now I'm sharing it with the rest of the people that watch my vlog. Hey Dolores, miss you. We had a lot of fun. Seen a lot of different things. Enjoyed life together. I will be doing a small video of Dolores Cannon.